Marole, talofa, pulavanaka, whakalofa le atu. Welcome to Nesian 4020 episode 5. Hope you guys are well. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Yes, this is a show by me, Hold the Ball. It's about Pacifica Rugby League through a Pacifica lens. Again, just highlighting, in my opinion, the importance of Pacifica Rugby League and what we do for the sport of rugby league. Not only the NRL, but also globally as well, right? Super League, CRL, NARL, anything rugby league, we're on it. But I just want to sort of talk about it from my perspective. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get into it just quickly. So round 3 has been done. It's come. It's gone. Fast but beautiful. A lot of surprises, a lot of upsets, a lot of questions depending on which team you follow, and a lot of, insight into what will happen. Hopefully for next week, as some key players come, some key players go, so on and so forth. Such is the circle of rugby league. But in saying that, I want to get into my player profile. And I want to do my Nesian 4020 Team of the Week and reasons why I selected them. And then I want to get into Nesian 4020 news, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Profile of this week is Mikaele Ravalawa. That's right, he is the barnstorming Fijian winger who plays for the St. Illawarra Dragons. So his date of birth was the 9th of the 11th, 97, which makes him 24 years old. He was born in Kaloa Island in Fiji. His height and weight is 184 centimeters, which roughly equates to 6 foot, and he's 106 kgs. His position is wing. Clubs he's played for, obviously, he's just one since 2019, playing 52 games and counting for St. Illawarra, and he scored 41 tries and counting as well. His rep career has only seen him play for Fiji once in 2017. His background is that he was a rugby player, right? I guess it's probably not hard to assume, particularly coming from the islands. A lot of our players who were, from Samoa, Tonga, or Fiji in particular, most of them had a rugby union background, unless you're from PNG, where you're born with a rugby league ball in your hand. It's the only country where rugby league is a national sport. But yeah, rugby background, was a captain as well for his under-16s team. But obviously, as he got older, Australia came into fruition and moved over, and subsequently got into rugby league, which is a good thing. It's a win for rugby league. Ravalawa, to me, represents the embodiment of what it is to be a Fijian winger. Big, strong, just running over blokes. Man, I can watch this guy for days. I hate it when he plays against us, though. He had a bit of a feast against the Warriors in round 1, unfortunately. But in saying that, what a player to watch. Mikaele, to me, is going to be a big name. He's got a lot of things to learn. It's funny, he, for someone who's so natural for the game, he's got so much to learn too, and it can only work for him. But being at 24 years of age, it works well. And again, he's just a good player to watch. I love watching Mikaele play, just not when he's running over the Warriors. But he's got a good highlight reel already, and I'm sure these more to come. That is the player profile for the week. Mikaele Ravalawa, Pulavanaka. Take it easy. Awesome as. And again, just see him constantly getting picked for the Dragons. Love to watch him. See you again next week, Mikaele. My Nesian 4020 Team of the Week. Now, this was very tight. There was a lot of misses, and I might even do some honourable mentions. This is my 1 to 13. Again, give me your bench. Tell me what you think. Again, with this, it's done on the NRL stats, right, on NRL.com. It's done the eye test as well as my own thoughts, my own feelings. But yeah, we'll get into it. So the fullback is Reece Walsh for the Warriors. The wingers, Daniel Tupou for the Roosters, as well as Taylor May for the Penrith Panthers. The centres saw me picking Valentine Holmes for the Cowboys, as well as Stephen Crichton for the Penrith Panthers. The halves saw me pick Dylan Brown for the Eels, as well as Jerome Hughes for the Storm. And the prop saw me picking Moikai Fotueka for Titans, as well as Payne Haas for the Broncos. The hooker, Brandon Smith from the Storm. The second row saw me picking Keon Koloamatangi for the Rabbitohs, as well as Isaiah Papali'i for the Eels. And the lock position saw me picking Tino Fa'asoa Maleaui. Before I get into my reasons why, honourable mentions that Sosio Tauke Aho, Ikuvalu. You could even say Papali, for the Raiders. I would even look at Timoko as well, who missed out. Even Nikora as well. So it was a very tight squeeze there, which is good to see. It's good to see that competition is there. It's great. So awesome as, but I'm saying that we'll get into it. So the reason why I picked Reece Walsh in the game there, he ran over 100 meters, was one of the better plays for the Warriors, and as a fullback as well, does really cool, exciting things, creates something out of nothing, which is what you need, and always looks like the better attacking player on a week-to-week basis. Daniel Tupou in a loss, was still Roosters, one of their better players, always hitting it up. We see him do a lot of forward work, which is funny because the Roosters have a big forward pack, but Then with the ball's always amongst it in the first or second hit up usually. Valentine Holmes, for me, look, it was great to see him play like the Valentine Holmes of old, winding down the clock, 200 meters as well. He ran for. It was actually just good to see him play a really good game against the Broncos, especially in that derby. It's not a game you want to lose for either side, but hey, he turned back the clock. Good to see. Stephen Crichton, consistent, good goal kicker, and again, always shows up week in, week out for the Penrith Panthers. Taylor May on a second game only for the Penrith Panthers, last one being last year. He scored 3 tries. What more can you ask for a rookie, so to speak, who's taking over Brian To'o in his absence? That's all you want. The halves saw me with Dylan Brown. I picked him because, again, with Brown, he's been consistent defensively, but as a 5'8" as well, right? The try-assists have been good. The kicking game has been good. He's been a very stable sort of a player for the Eels and has helped them in their season thus far, right? Jerome Hughes as well in a losing side. Still, did what he could in a losing side. Good kicking game. Not his best game, but in saying that, it is what it is. I'm sure he'll come back stronger for the next game. Fotueka for me in that loss against the Raiders there was still their consistent player, their forward. Ran the ball well, very strong, very tough player to tackle, and defensively as well, he wasn't bad at all. And I just thought for a losing side, he still played well and played good. Brandon Smith, ever consistent, simple as that. So it is what it is. You can't go wrong whenever Brandon Smith is playing, and here we go again. Payne Haas in the losing side, despite that, was still one of the Broncos' better players. It's funny, he was a bit quiet in that win they had over the Bulldogs, but in a loss, he was one of their louder players. I'm sure he did some self-reflection, but in saying that as well, with Haas, is forever consistent, and it's good to see him back in the squad. To be honest, I feel more easier when Haas is in my team. When he's not, I feel lost. I don't know where to go. So it's good that he's in the squad there. Golomotangi, in a very strong win the Rabbitohs had. He was one of their better players. Good strong carries, good defense, and again, just good to know he's growing and developing well as a player. Again, one of the players that is in contention to represent the Blues this year. So if he keeps it up, he just might get that call. Isaiah Papali, as mentioned before, with the Eels. Look, solid player, very good, strong carries. Defensively, he's got an underrated tank as well. Very fit player. He's going to the Tigers next year. Is it too late to backflip? No, I kid. All you Tigers fans, I'm kidding. And 13, the lock, Fasua Maliawi. Obviously, the captain of the Titans, though, in a loss that I'm sure he's ruining, he was still good. Right, he came in, he did well. Even in that second half when there was nothing going for the Titans, he still carried well. He still played strong. But again, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, tell me again what your thoughts are. What are your bench? Anyway, we'll get into it. Nesian 4020 news. Again, it's been a bit quiet, but in saying that is A-OK. Fasua Mariawi against the Raiders in his post-conference was basically talking about the opportunities that were missed and obviously not happy with the fact that the boys came and lost, from being up 22-0 to losing 24-22. So he was talking about how he was upset, didn't like it, and I don't blame him. I thought he's one of the better players too. As mentioned, him and Mikaele Fotueka, they were both really good and did some good things. They laid the platform, and unfortunately their team in the second half just couldn't create much. So I'm not sure what happened there, but again, I'm sure as a captain he will be looking at ways to rectify it. Only he can do that. Is Jeremiah Nanai. So Jeremiah Nanai, for those of you who don't know, he's a Samoan, Kiwi born, but he's a Samoan. And he's been playing some excellent footy. He's 19 years of age. You look at him and you think he's like 28, 29. But he's only 19 years of age, so he's got a long, decorated career ahead of him. And I'm sure the North Queensland Cowboys are going to be wanting to swap to get a signature as soon as possible. It's what you do for young players. Cowboys just seem to have a very good crop of young players coming up, which is good to see. So in saying that, Jeremiah Nanai, you're just going to have to watch him because he's one to watch. And just on that subject too, he also made rumours are he's going to declare to play for Australia and Queensland over New Zealand. Look, it's good for him, but in terms of New Zealand, it's not great. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because it's a very large topic. I can probably unwind in another episode, but it's good for him in the sense that he's Australia wants him, the Maroons wants him, good, but for New Zealand, probably not good. New Zealand always getting the raw end of the deal. But it's going to be interesting to see how this works out for him. But again, Nanai, he's a player you want. He's got something special there. And again, scoring a double, I believe it was, against the Broncos. you're going to want to watch out. His name is going to be one that will be spoken about for many years to come. So the multicultural round has come and gone. Look, I don't want to get too deep into this, but obviously there was some teams there that, did a bit of stuff that was representing, the Pacifica stuff, which was good to see. Look, for me personally, all this does is drives my hunger for Pacifica round even more. Round 13 or 18, I reckon you give it to us, let us represent our culture, let it be a culture around dedicated to us. There's so many Pacifica people there, and again, I like the multicultural round, but again, it just screams Pacifica round to me, honestly. Simple as that, doesn't it? So anyway, give me your thoughts on that as well. I thought maybe the NRL or the International Rugby League could actually install a Pacifica Cup for the Pacific nations. And I understand, it can be a heavy workload for some of the players, but maybe you get like the official nations like Toa Samoa, Tongan Invitational, whatever they're going to be called, whether it be Mate Tonga or Tongan Invitational, and you get, Pati Fiji, you get the Kumals from PNG, obviously you get the Maoris as well, maybe even get the indigenous sides involved. You get them to play each other, once, and the winner of that will be the one who's placed first. I don't know, something like that. What are your thoughts on a Pacific Cup? Or maybe even call it the Oceania Cup, yeah? Or the Southern Cup, something like that. At the end of the year, and you don't have to pick all your NRL players. Maybe you can pick players of, say, indigenous descent, from Queensland and New South Wales or wherever they're from, like wherever in Australia, to make that team, have it under the official NRL indigenous side, you know what I mean? Or even the same for Tonga or even, New Zealand, the Maoris, that is, something like that. Anyway, just something there. That's watching. I appreciate it very much. Stay tuned for the next episode coming on. But yeah, till then, take it easy. See you guys next time. And enjoy. Nesian 4020 coming to you guys next time.